Alright. Playing that good. Wrist hurting. All fucking cramped up. Want to do this Tonewood debate? And so, I don't know. There's a few points and non-points, and a few issues and non-issues with the Tonewood debate. Let's just go over them. So, if you see this guitar, it's, what do you think it is? What do you think it's made out of? Right? So say to yourself first, I don't know if you can see in that, there's something's wrong with the light or something. What do you think it is anyway? What the fuck do you think this is? So it sounds like a Strat or whatever. This is like a Jag type thing, right? Right, rosewood fingerboard, maple neck, of course. And what do we think this is? Does it matter? Well, yes and no. It sounds very Strat-like because if you look at it, I'm playing through the neck pickup and I'm playing the riffs that are gonna bring through that Stratness, like what you're gonna, what do you say, connect mentally with like guys that are notorious getting that Strat sound, let's say Hendrix or whatever. 9 chords or whatever you want to call it. By the way, drinking an Imperial Stout. Fucking delicious. But as for Tonewood, should you believe or not believe in Tonewood? And I'm just gonna say a few things. When I buy a guitar, I don't care about the name brand, and I typically avoid Gibsons because they're so expensive. And I found that I just didn't like them. I love Gibson style guitars. I love Les Pauls, and especially with the right neck profile, that type of thing. But for me, I pick up the guitar and I feel if it's heavy. This one's very heavy. And what kind of brand do you think this is? You can probably tell it's a little bit fucky looking. All right. So no, it's not a Squier. It's actually, believe it or not, and I never thought I'd ever buy one of these ever. It's a fucking J Turner or whatever. I didn't even like bother to read it. I just play it. J Tausner or Turner. I thought they were called J Turner. I don't know. Whatever. This looks and sounds a lot like a fucking Strat, but this is not an alder or an ash guitar. It's actually mahogany. So some people could say, oh, see, Tonewood doesn't exist because it sounds like a Strat, even though there's like really shitty pickups. I haven't really worked on this one yet to kind of spruce it up. Well, I put new tuners on because they were fucking shitty, like the shittiest tuners I've ever encountered. But I had some on an old fucking beater that was all fucked up, so I just swapped out the tuners for some off an old Vantage. But can I hear the difference between this and, like, let's say a Strat, if I was playing like a Squier or something, if I was playing through net pickup? Sounds pretty similar to me. I think I can tell a little bit that it's mahogany because it is kind of a little. Strats are always bassy, but it's kind of like a little mellow, a little chill. So my Tonewood theory is, number one, I don't care what it is, it has to be heavy. It has to be if the guitar is light, I typically won't fuck with it. Unless it's something like, something weird for some reason. So I'm gonna grab something else here for you. So this thing, I mean, I'm gonna swap this out. I'm gonna do a wicked mod to this. There's a company called Guitar Fetish, which is coming out with these pickups. Are super cheap. They're like fucking $30-40. I don't know why I'm so fucking red. I think that's sunburn. And it's like winter out. I don't get it, but watch out for the UVs. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, those Guitar Fetish pickups. Like $30. They sound really good on the sound clips. I'm gonna get those double, like a lipstick humbucker for here and a lipstick in here, and I think it's gonna look pretty fucking wicked. That's just my theory. So don't mind the groin shot as I grab a really bizarre guitar here. This is Karina body. This is an Epiphone. You can tell I really splurge when I buy guitars. This was $400 brand fucking new. And I always wanted a Les Paul Special, and I obviously can't afford a Gibson because they're fucking insane. And actually, this is a really nice Epiphone, except for I fucking hate light wood. And there was a Mahogany Twin, but this was a promotional guitar by Epiphone, supposedly only 700 made and only distributed in Canada. Whether the salesman was just blowing smoke up my ass is probably true. So here we are. We got Grover tuners in the back, so this is kind of upgraded. It sounds pretty good. What else was there about this? Oh, yes, I broke the headstock off completely. It fell out of the stand, and I glued it back in. Looks like butter. Fucking worked fine, so thank God for that. So we'll play like a similar riff on this one. So these are P90s, and they're probably pretty cheap P90s, but they're P90s, so that's like, you hear the more gain, more grit on it. It's a different scale length guitar, okay? But as for the initial, so for me with Tonewood, I didn't like this one because it's light, but you know, Van Halen played the basswood guitar, so you get all that initial attack, right? Or in theory, or so people think. But this one it's spanky, like you get a lot like... If you just pluck a note like that, you can really hear it. Like there's no fucking sustain. Like the note will ring, but you hear the EQ, like most of the volume is right now, like an attack, and it just really mellows out after that. But it will ring out again later. So with a lot of your playing, it's not really going to matter so much, but I do really like heavy guitars. I always find that I get a better sound out of wood that's really heavy. Like there's a company out of Canada called Lato, and they make sick fucking shit, and those guitars sound wicked, and they're extremely heavy maple guitars. I also played a Guild that was like similar thing, just this fucking anchor, right? So this is totally different wood, and of course it sounds different. Of course it's a totally different guitar. So as for Tonewood, is there any really... See, a lot of people don't notice this shit. You know, I typically tend to notice the sounds and shit a little bit more. So, okay, if Tonewood doesn't matter, then don't ever buy a semi-hollow body. And people say, oh, that's a different principle, how it works. No, it doesn't, because it's just these magnetic pickups here. Right? You're not really hearing it acoustically on stage when you're cranking the fucking thing. John Fogerty ripping his fucking semi-hollow body, you're not going to get the same sound out of a Stratocaster. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, Tonewood, at a certain point, is most definitely true. Or people wouldn't play semi-hollow bodies. Well, different scale length. Well, this is a different scale length from that. It didn't sound that much different. Because they're, you know, they're solid bodies. Okay, now here's a guitar where I think it really matters a lot. Because you look how thin an SG is. If you get a Gibson SG, you should probably just burn it. Because the Gibson is, in my opinion, is really half-assed when it comes to selecting that wood. Like they're selling you a guitar for thousands of dollars and it's made out of pure shit. And so this fucking thing is pure evil. This fucking thing is heavy for an SG. So if you buy an SG, make fucking sure it's thick. Okay? So, and I understand it's not a matter of species so much. It matters on the density, because the principle on Tonewood is how is it your string ringing, right? Because how is it decaying into the wood? How is the wood absorbing the note? it doesn't matter if it's ebony or if it's maple. If they're similar hardness, like they're gonna sound probably similar, but it also I think has a lot to do with density. So some woods are hard, but they're not as dense, you know, in the weight, and so each species is different, and each piece of wood is different within the species. So as for people that think that, and I see this a lot, and this is where tone wood pisses me off too. If someone says, I want this because it's mahogany. Well, fuck, man. That's why all these idiots go to Gibson and they buy a Les Paul this mahogany and they think it's equal to this guitar. Well, if I'm fucking sorry, it's not. It's not even half as heavy as this fucking thing. This thing's a fucking battle axe. And I won't buy a Gibson SG because all the ones I've tried, the people say, try my new SG, it's mahogany, blah, blah, blah. And it's just a fucking raging pile of shit. I mean, they suck all around. And now Gibson has a new CEO or something, so hopefully he turns that shit around. But, you know, there's plenty of idiots buying Gibsons, right? So. Okay, so this is not a Gibson. This is a vintage grand guitar, and the neck is fucked on this, so it's it's a pretty big bow in it, and I gotta deal with that. Hopefully it doesn't have to be refretted. It's got really nice frets, really tall, so I think I'm gonna be able to level that hopefully. Yeah, man, but like. Oh yeah, this thing. Oh, it's staying. That switch is a bugger. Oops. Oh, fuck off. So I pick guitars off weight, whether the neck is straight. This one apparently I didn't check it enough. Well, it doesn't buzz a lot, but for me it bothers me, so I put the fucking back bow in for now, just to kind of like keep it from buzzing. And these are Cobalt strings, dude. These are, in case you're wondering, I decided to try the Cobalt strings, and I'm not. They're kind of like aluminum-y, if that makes any sense. I'm like kind of like dry, sticky, and aluminum-y. So. Anyway, so back to the Tonewood thing, and my beer. I should really get back to the beer. With electrics, it's really, with a lot of these lower end guitars and stuff, I don't notice a huge difference until I step up into like a real guitar, like a Lato, which I don't have because they're a lot of money. But I do like these. This has really good pickups, right? These guitars are really fucking cheap. Eh? So the Wilkinson humbuckers are pretty good. And there's bridge pickups mean, but anyway. So species wise, that's where the Tonewood kind of pisses me off too, because people say like, oh, it's ash. Well, I don't know I'm not exactly even sure. I'm pretty sure what the fuck the Squires are made out of, but I haven't. I had a buddy who wanted me to test out a whole bunch of guitars. because he really likes Strats, and he was kind of in the market for a Squire. I couldn't find a Squire worth a flying fuck lately, and it kind of surprises me because Fender was usually pretty consistent, in my opinion, with their shit. And Gibson was the one that was always like really letting me down. But now like these Fenders are god awful. Like a lot of them, and like how do you fuck up a Strat? I'm yeah, apparently you buy a J Turner or whatever instead because it's the same. That's actually this was actually better than all the Squires I tried. Not all, but like 95% of them. I make most of those J Turners are way worse than this one. But so just because a guitar is Ash doesn't mean it's gonna sound the same as all the other Ash Strats or whatever the fuck or Alder or whatever. It's to me it has a lot to do with the weight and the species in combination. Like I kind of like with the mahogany ones, you know, they're a little bit more mellow and subdued. Chappers, Ass Chappers, there and his other buddy, they made a video where they have a company who makes two identical guitars, and one I believe is made of ash, and the other one's made of mahogany, I believe. And it's been a while since I watched that video, and you can definitely fucking, and it's all the same components, no doubt. They don't sound the same. If it sounded the same, nobody would fucking buy a fucking semi-hollow body. Trust me, because they're a lot of money. You know, and you're not gonna sound like a lot of what John Fogerty was doing on with a semi-hollow body. Without a semi-hollow body, I'm sorry. I mean, you can preach all fucking goddamn day about Tonewood and how it doesn't exist, but I mean, you know, jazz guys use arch tops. They wouldn't invest their money in a fucking carved top fucking arch top. Fucking tap tuned fucking carved top arch top from Robert Benedetto for God knows how much those fucking things cost when they could just play a fucking Fender Squire. You know, I mean, Grant Green wouldn't have sounded like that on a fucking Fender Squire. You know, okay, our arch tops have a little bit longer scale length. What? Come on. Come on. Let's not be retarded here. Like, there is definitely difference in the wood. Is it directly related to the species? Yes and no. Okay, and I know Will's Easy Guitar's been having that debate a lot. Well, a lot of that's for views. I like Will's Easy Guitar. It's a good channel, and there's a lot of good information on there, and I watch it all the time because he's got most of the best videos on guitar repair and building and stuff like that. And, you know, a lot of people don't upload very good videos or videos at all on these subjects, so Will's kind of covered a lot of shit that happens to guitars. But I think, you know, is it trolling? Yeah, I would say so. And if you're on board with it, you are a fucking idiot. If you're, I don't agree with it because I understand what he's saying. But to pretend like the decay of the string doesn't matter, well, Van Halen wouldn't sound like Van Halen unless he was playing on a fucking basswood guitar. You know, he like it's similar to this because you know it helped him play fast. You know. You know, for what he wanted to do or whatever, right? Like, there's a reason a lot of people play Strats instead of fucking, you know, other guitars. It's not. I mean, it is to do with the pickups and shit, but I mean, fuck, I don't know. I don't know what to say. If you think you can build a guitar out of basswood with a mahogany neck and a rosewood fingerboard, and you can build the identical guitar out of, I don't know, let's see, Ipe with a fucking Purple Heart fretboard and a Purple Heart neck or something, and you think that fucking thing is gonna sound the same, you're out of your fucking mind. You know, yeah, like build a guitar out of Purple Heart. Build the whole guitar out of Purple Heart. Put the exact same electronics in. Test your pots for resistance or whatever before you put it in. Build a fucking guitar out of Purple Heart, and then build one out of basswood or basswood. I don't know. There's like two pronunciations. Build one out of basswood and build one out of Purple Heart, and build them identically. and then tell me that they sound the fucking same. You know, and put a mahogany neck in it, like a genuine mahogany, like a fucking spongy ass fucking mahogany neck in it, and build one entirely out of Purple Heart, and then tell me that Tonewood doesn't exist. You know, because at a certain point you're not gonna find Tonewood with the same weight and density as fucking as basswood. I mean, Purple Heart is so fucking hard. If you tap a piece of Purple Heart, it sounds like glass. It's like ping, 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 ping. Tap basswood is took, took, took. That's going to absorb the string's energy differently. And if you think that doesn't make a difference in the physics of it, well, think about it for a second. The motion wave, which creates the sound that you hear, transfers electronically, like through the magnetic pickup, into an electrical current, goes through your amp, gets stepped up, and comes out of the speaker. And sound, if you have your amp clean, it sounds almost the same as it does acoustically on a solid body electric, right? So if you think that the decay isn't going to like affect the sound the same way that the sound and electricity in that wave transfers, right? But if your string is being absorbed, right? Like a semi-hollow body guitar, it's thin, right? It's not, when you hear it sound acoustically, a semi-hollow body has acoustic properties, right? It rings out the fucking F-holes and shit, right? You hear that. Your magnetic pickup hears it the same way you fucking do. Your magnetic pickup picks up the vibrations the same way your fucking eardrum does. Because the frequency is the frequency. Like the string is doing what the string is doing. Your eardrum hears it. Your neighbor's eardrum hears it. Oh, he's playing fucking Peter Gunn in fucking F sharp or something. Your neighbor can hear that. You can hear it, and your pickup fucking hears it, right? Your pickup also hears, in a way, through vibration, that you're playing on it's getting played on a semi-hollow body, because otherwise, fucking, you cannot listen to people that play semi-hollow body guitars. Grand Funk Railroad, Creedence Clearwater Revival, the Beatles, when they're using those fucking arch tops and semi-hollow bodies and shit like that, Grant Green, Kenny Burrell, it doesn't sound anything like a fucking Stratocaster. And you could put Strat pickups in the fucking guitar. That's not what the sound's coming from at a certain point. Yeah, solid bodies is a lot less of a deal, but you fucking, people wouldn't buy semi-hollow body guitars. And anyone who says that, oh, it's different. It's not different. You're plugging it into the fucking cord and you're plugging it into the fucking amp. The amp's so fucking loud on stage. If you're playing with a full band, it's not like, oh, they're here. You know, they're not hearing the sound, the acoustic sound off the fucking guitar. I mean, it'll be so fucking stupid. But the sound you're hearing out of the guitar, right? It goes through again. You know, it's not an entire thing. It has a lot to do with the pickups and everything, but there wouldn't be a difference between a semi-hollow body and a fucking solid body. Or those jazz guys would just build a mock-up of the same guitar made out of spruce, out of fence posts. It wouldn't fucking matter. They wouldn't have to carve the fucking top, cut fucking F-holes in it, and go to all the work to build a fucking arch top. Because it does sound different. I don't have one because they can't afford them because it's so much fucking work, but it does sound different. Like, I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to even find a pedal that could manipulate the sound of a solid body to an arch. I mean, I'm sure someone could kind of do it with some kind of, like, I don't want to say synthesizer, some kind of emulator. Like, there's that technology they have now where you can emulate shit. So you could get a semi-hollow body sound with one of those devices nowadays, you know. And I can't remember what the fuck they call them, but they have them even built into guitars now and weird shit like that they were doing for a little while. But you cannot tell me that a fucking semi-hollow body Rickenbacker It's the pickups. No, I'm sorry. Like, you can hear it. It's way woodier because it's a fucking semi-fucking hollow body. It sounds similar to how it sounds acoustically because the pickups. Yeah, well, they're not picking up. It's not a microphone. Well, you put a piezo pickup in it then. The wood vibrates like that. Well, the piezo pickup picks it up pretty much fucking this damn near the same, right? So your magnetic pickups not picking up the acoustic sounds, but the vibration is incorporated into the string. Like the bridge, like if you want more sustain, you gotta have a solid fucking bridge and shit. Like you don't have to believe me. You just have to go play a semi-hollow body and then realize you're a complete fucking retard. That's it. Or play a basswood guitar against, like, I don't know, a fucking they don't even make guitars dense enough for my taste. Like, well, go play it against one of those really heavy guitars. Like Guild made a few really heavy maple guitars, and then tell me that they don't sustain better. Well, Jerry Garcia, like, listen to Jerry Garcia, and he's using an ebony fretboard. Well, you could say, oh, that's just because he played Alembecs or whatever. Well, okay. Play guitars with an ebony fretboard. Like, ebony is a pretty magical fucking wood when it comes to tone. Like you play guitars with ebony fretboard, they do sound different than rosewood fingerboards, and it's just the fingerboard and the neck. Like, then it's important in the neck as well, not just the body. But I'm telling you, a semi-hollow body, okay, with electric, like, fucking magnetic pickups in it is not miking the guitar. It's not picking up the sound of the guitar, right? But it's still picking up the sound of the guitar. Are you retarded? Like, it affects the string. The decay of it affects it. Like, you know, and it also buzzes, okay? So a semi-hollow body is moving when you play it, like when an acoustic. Like if you put your hand on it, it's moving as the sound's resonating. Like it buzzes off the top plate, buzzes off the back plate. There's a recurve in there. They're made like a fucking violin, and then it fucking comes back and it fucking blasts sound off the fucking soundboard and through the F holes. Right? Lo and behold, a magnetic pickup picks it up. Not to mention the magnetic pickup is also shaking. The magnetic pickup is also vibrating because it's mounted in the soundboard. It's also vibrating when it's mounted in a solid body, and especially because a lot of them are fucking mounted in plastic pickups, pick guards, right? So they are moving, right? Okay. So you got a pitcher on a fucking pitcher's mound, and he throws the ball. And the bat catcher is sitting there, and let's say there's a carpet underneath him. And somebody starts moving the carpet while he's standing on it. That's going to affect his performance. Okay? You might think, well, it's just vibrating a little bit. Yeah, but your string is only moving a bit. It's only fucking moving like that much. Wah. And now your pickup's vibrating as well. The denser the guitar, the more solid the fucking pickup's gonna be. Right? If you put it in a piece of fucking spruce or something, it's gonna fucking be it's gonna vibrate differently. Your pickup is vibrating. If you don't think so, fucking put your hand on it. Put your hand on your guitar. Right near the bridge. You can't feel much. Put your hand on the neck. Oh, right about halfway up the truss wad. Holy fuck. Just lights up. You can feel that. Oh, as you go down further down the headstock, Jesus Christ. The fucking thing's flying. You can feel it for sure. Well, your bridges, you want it solid there. This is a fucking solid fucking guitar. Feel your bridge. I can feel that. I can feel the bridge. You can't tell me that they're not fucking moving at a microscopic level or something. Holy fuck. Hit an A note. Now the fucking pickup, I feel it in the pickup because the frequency of the A is just going mental on it. Like, holy Jesus Christ, the pickup's flying. D a little bit. G a bit. B, yeah, I can feel it. E, holy fuck, the whole pick guard's just fucking lit up. It's buzzing like a motherfucker. Actually, with E, it's not really. Well, it's buzzing a bit. I can feel the fuck it's mounted in there. My finger's solid against it. My finger's fucking humming. Especially with A. I play A, and the pickup's fucking buzzing. Oh, neck pickup too. I guess A is a really powerful frequency when it comes to moving shit. Alright? Now let's try that shit with the fucking Karina body guitar. And E, not much. The whole fucking guitar is buzzing. The whole fucking, when I'm playing an A, the whole body is fucking buzzing. That's the frequency of the string when I play it. The whole body is buzzing. This thing feels like it's fucking plugged in, and there's a short, and it's metal, and I'm holding on to it with an A note. D? Well, it's buzzing like a motherfucker. G? Right? Right? Oh, the wood doesn't affect the fucking, is that, what is that from? Is that because the string's moving through the air? Last I checked, staples, it doesn't matter how much air you shoot a staple through, it doesn't hold it. Right? Same thing with a nail. You could nail through 4 feet of air, but it's not going to stay in there. It has to nail through wood, right? That old trick. Why does that work? If tone wood didn't matter, that wouldn't affect the sound of the string. You understand? That's not the air. It's the velocity. The harder you turn it and the harder you recoil the turn, the more it affects the sound of the guitar. Right? Because if it mattered like how much air I was moving it through, sounds a little different because it's blocking the thing, but not like, I can move it fucking 2 feet. Not much. It's the fucking velocity and the G-force upon the wood. This, like... Now, do you think that's taking it in out of tune? What's it doing? It's doing something. So, I don't really know. So to say that tone wood doesn't exist is mentally retarded. And to say that because my guitar is maple, it's going to sustain better than your mahogany guitar, that's also stupid. Because, like, if you're trying to compare them. And here's the thing. In the tone wood debate, it seems like the debate is focused on idiots who think that it's species direct and not related to the quality and the density of that individual piece. Maple can kind of be all over the place. Mahogany can kind of be all over the place, especially nowadays because you're probably not even getting real mahogany half the fucking time. And I haven't really fucked with too much ebony, but it's generally pretty heavy. Any of the pieces that I've fucking checked out at the wood store and all that. I have a chunk of Ipe. That fucking shit has got to be at least as heavy as concrete. This wood is like fucking really dense. I want to build a guitar out of it. I think I don't want to build anything like really huge because it's so fucking heavy. So I'm thinking maybe like a really small body guitar, like maybe like I don't want to like really copy anything unless it's a V, and I don't know how really big of a I like the way V's look. I don't know how much I like to play them. You know what I mean? Because they're kind of fucked, but they look cool. But I think, yeah, I mean, tone wood, species related, is not 100% because, I mean, you got, especially with ash, like I've worked with a lot of ash, and it's, you get some really light pieces of ash, and then you get some pretty dense ones, and mahogany, what I've had around, depending what species it was, Honduras or genuine, it seems to be like kind of consistent, sort of, but I don't know what Gibson. What the fuck happened with their wood? Someone told me they had a flood and it fucked up all their wood, and so they just like were throwing anything in their guitars. And I can believe it because they were fucking shit. Because the Epiphones have better wood. That's the funny thing. I like a lot of the Epiphones better, and they're like you can buy an Epiphone for like I saw them. They have them in Best Buy for $150. Not a real great guitar, but not much worse than the fucking Gibsons. Really, pickup swap, you know. Yeah, fucking, and some of them are good, and that's the thing about these cheap guitars. I find I don't usually you don't have to spend like more than $200 on a guitar to get like something that plays decent and shit. A little bit of work, but anyway, so I don't know. I don't even understand the Toyota debate because I didn't even think it was a thing. Like I didn't even really realize that people were having this discussion because to me it just didn't seem like anything that a person really needed to think about. You know, heavy fucking hard ass dense guitars just fucking like sustain better and fucking sound more solid and are generally kind of louder. You know, and regardless of the pickup. I mean, yeah, if you put like a fucking active fucking super high output pickup is probably going to be louder, like a super high active fucking humbucker, obviously. But if you're putting the same guitars in the same pickups in the same two guitars, it's, I mean, you just, I don't know what to tell you, really. Like we had this Les Paul. It was a friend of mine's. It was an Ibanez Les Paul. Had like the best action out of any fucking guitar I've probably ever played in my life. The thing was awesome. But it had an arch top, but it was a veneer, like it was a pressed top. It was hollow in between the top and the body, as far as I could tell, because it sounded hollow. I mean, I didn't fucking take the pickup out and look or anything. I had mini humbuckers in them. They're probably from the '80s, so I could guess. The headstock had been knocked off. Buddy's dad put it on. The thing was fucking wicked, but it didn't really sound. It played really great. Like the neck was amazing on this fucking thing. The action, like it was set up so well, and the frets had to have been like absolutely perfect. Like the neck was fucking perfect on this thing. But it didn't sound like the Les Pauls, like the Gibsons, and that are like not like a pressed fucking veneer on top. Because you could, when you tapped it, it sounded like fucky. It was like, what the fuck's going on here? And it wasn't as loud as if it had like a fucking solid maple top laminated on it and carved. Like most Les Pauls sound like brighter, like a more of an attack. You know what I mean? It's. And you can say no, no they don't. I could make a Les Paul out of basswood and it would sound just like a fucking like a burst or what am I trying to say here? Yeah, burst or whatever when they put the maple on the top. I don't think so. I mean, you might find one that sounds bright because you have an extra dense piece of mahogany that just sounds super bright and the way it's carved it resonates really well and it behaves similarly. Yeah, totally. I get that too. But we're playing the odds here. It's like generally like maple guitars are denser and fucking louder and sustain better than mahogany guitars. And generally mahogany has like really good fucking mids and are bassy and sound fucking grunty and fucking wicked. And that's just, and if you don't believe me, watch Chap Ass's fucking video on it. They got two identical fucking guitars and they make a line of them. Like they had a company start to produce these for them, and they make them like that on purpose to prove the tone would bait. And god damn it if they didn't prove it. I mean, you can. You can say you don't hear the difference, but you're just an ignoramus, like a fucking retard. If you're saying, "Oh, I can't hear the difference. I can't hear the difference between a semi-hollow body and a fucking Telecaster." Sure, you can't because you're fucking tone deaf fucking retard. Like, if you can't hear the tone difference between a fucking, what's that one or BB King plays? I don't know. I don't really fucking care about Gibson as much as ES35 or something they call it, something like that. Oh no, he's out of phase. Okay, but play one that's in phase, and then play it against a fucking Telecaster. And that might be a bad comparison because I do sound similar. Okay, play that against a fucking. Play it against a fucking Yngwie Malmsteen's fucking Stratocaster, and tell me they sound the same. You know, they're it's absurd. It's totally absurd. You know, to think that it's like, okay, pickups are definitely play a part, but if you can't tell the difference between like the main types of pickups, you're just probably lost. Like, you just don't know what the fuck. If you can't tell the difference between like a Strat fucking neck pickup and a fucking like humbucker out of an SG fucking bridge pickup, I'm not even sure what they use, but those are generally always fucking pretty badass. I mean, if you can't tell the difference between fucking P90s and like, let's say a fucking like Seth Lover humbucker, you're like, I don't know, like, or like PAFs. So, if you can't tell the difference between P90s and PAFs, you need to start over again. Like, you need to stop, go back to the beginning because you may have missed something. Like, you maybe weren't listening. Same thing when it comes to analog and digital. Most digital shit is so fucking awful that me and most of the people that end up getting a digital effects multi-pedal end up just using them for tuner, and then pawning them off. Like, if you think that a shitty program that translates your current into ones and zeros and then transposes that into like ones and zeros again, like, and then makes sound out of those ones and zeros. If you think that's the same as a live current through an analog circuit breathing through a fucking tube, like, the tube's fucking alive. It's the same current as is in the pickup. If you think that that's the same as most digital effects, you're probably retarded. Like, if you can't hear how shitty, and there are some digital stuff that's a bit better now and that, but if you can't tell the difference between analog effects and point-to-point wired analog tube amps, you're probably just you're just probably not paying attention, or you're stupid or something, because okay, and there's solid state amps that sound good and this and that, but I don't think that they're necessarily all digital. I'm not really too sure on that. I've heard solid states that sound pretty good. I'm not saying you have to always go tube, but or that you always have to go pure analog. But if you can't tell the difference between shit digital equipment and good analog equipment, Jesus Christ! I mean, there's no helping you. There's no helping you. If you think that you can play a fucking semi-hollow body, right? Like the Rickenbackers was fucking the Kinks used. If you think that you can take their Rickenbacker and that you can sound like fucking, I don't know, let's see, Vinnie Marr or Michael fucking Angelo, you can play like them, you probably sound great, but you're not going to sound like these metal guys. Like, you, if it didn't matter, why can you not achieve the same gain levels on like, it's a feedback cycle? I don't know what to tell you. That is affecting the sound of the guitar, the wood in the guitar, the shape in the build of the wood, right? Okay, right? I don't know what like, use a denser substance like steel. Take an arch top and make it out of steel. And then tell me it sounds just like the fucking one that fucking the Kinks used. Like pure, like I mean like fucking like half-inch fucking plate steel. You fucking make it out of that. And then tell me that it doesn't fucking matter. I don't know what to tell people like that. Now, I also don't know what to tell people that are like, oh, it's this, so it's going to be good. I also really don't know what to tell people that are chambering their guitars. That generally, anytime I've heard that sounds really bad. That's a fucking huge mistake. And people that want light guitars are like, oh, it's only 3 pounds. You fucking jackass. You want a 9-pound guitar. Where 16, you don't want a fucking like 3-pound guitar. Unless you want that basswood sound. Like, you don't want a really light fucking... You don't want a fiberglass guitar, you fucking twat. You want the heaviest fucking slab of maple or fucking ebony or ash you can fucking get your hands on. You know, unless you like the light sound like Van Halen. Unless you like Carina or basswood. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, that's my theory on Tonewood. Anyone who's arguing about it... I'm not arguing. I'm just making this statement free and clear just to tell you that you're all fucking stupid. The people that don't believe it are really fucking stupid. The people that think that it's strictly species specific are just as stupid, if not stupider. But anyone in there is fucking gotta be like below a 50 IQ. Because you don't have to prove, like, you don't have to like argue about it. Like, you can fucking plug in a semi-hollow body, and you can plug in a Strat, and Jesus fucking Christ, you know, or do one with P90s, you know, throw a Les Paul Special up against a fucking semi-hollow body with fucking P90s, you know what, even fucking build your own solid body, you know, build it out of something hard, build a solid body out of ebony, build a fucking Les Paul Special out of ebony, and increase the scale length to be the same as a fucking full arch top, and then go fucking play the one that fucking Charlie Christian played, and tell me that there's no difference in Tonewood in it, that the pickups are only picking up the string like, it's like, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like, or make us a fucking Les Paul Special, but make one hollow, and make it out of spruce. Like, make a spruce top and mahogany back and sides, and then make it the same thickness, and then make a Les Paul Special out of fucking Purple Heart, and then play them, and then be like, that Tonewood doesn't exist. Like, all right, you're fucking sound deaf, fucking totally retarded. Ass Chappers has already done the video. They've built the guitars. They've tested them on that one video. I bet you they've probably done more. If not, request them. Like, God, can you play 6 of the fucking mahogany guitars, and then can you play 6 of the fucking other ones on the same amp? Because, like, I couldn't tell. Like, the mahogany one was so dark and rich, and the ash one was so bright that I didn't hear it. Because I'm a tone-deaf idiot that just jumps on bandwagons and likes to argue because I'm retarded. Yeah, have them play 6 of them. Say, Ass Chappers. Berserker told me that that you would fully humiliate me even more if you played 6 fucking of the mahogany ones and 6 of the ash ones in the same video. I would love to see that. Because they have the resources, they can do that. They fucking are in partnership with the company. They got their fucking name on the guitar and shit. I was like, yeah, we need 6. They have fucking 12 of them in the back. They'll do it. Berserker. And I'm out. Yeah, yeah.